All right, we are live again with one of our last. We saved the best for last.
Yeah.
This is Courtney Nunn, the incoming president for the Mississippi Rec and Park Association. Graciously volunteered, but she's got some big shoes to fill, and it's got a lot. I was listening to your speech yesterday about really encouraging everyone in Parks and Rec to attend these events. And so I really wanted you to kind of talk a little bit about what you get out of it, why you bring your staff here. And you said you've been coming for 6 years?
Yeah, about 6.
And so maybe even bring us back to that first year, the first time you came to one of these. What was that like?
I would say my first conference, I believe, was it was Biloxi, maybe. Like thinking that I had to go to every session and just try to get as much as I could. I put a lot of pressure on myself just to kind of learn everything I could. And
Pull that a little bit closer to
I
you.
think that the more conferences I went to, it was important for me to just get just a few things and not overwhelm myself. And just even if I found just 2 to 3 things that I could work on for that year, that kind of helped to kind of ease the pressure, but just kind of enjoy being around other professionals and being able to just talk with them because it's not just about the sessions coming to MRPA, it's about the networking and learning from others that have kind of dealt with the same challenges.
Do you have any examples of one of the things that's, stood out as a thing that you learned, took away from any of those years you attended?
I think that some of my most favorite, I would say, sessions are dealing with programming. Sometimes it gets difficult to find new programs that people might enjoy or to target some of the age groups that that you have to serve, but don't necessarily have ideas for programs for them to do. So you're able to get those new programs from other cities that they've tried it and it's worked for them. So
Now, how did you get in the Parks and Rec? What industry did you come from, or were you in Parks and Rec straight out of school, or?
so I played college softball all 4 years.
What
Yeah,
position?
pitcher.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, pitcher.
Don't
And
get Courtney mad.
right. And I was pretty good. So
What school?
Mississippi College.
Wow.
And I was pretty lucky. Never had any injuries until uh, 8 weeks ago. I had to have shoulder surgery, so I don't know if that was, just everything finally gave out. But anyway, so I was a college softball player, and I really just didn't have a career, a set career, other than I wanted to. I've always said growing up, I wanted to be a pitching coach in college. And so I got there. I worked at East Central Community College for 4 years straight out the gate. I graduated from Mississippi College in 2012, and they picked me up to be their pitching coach immediately, and had 4 great seasons there. But I just felt like I could do more. I felt like I could serve more people, and I knew that I had some untapped potential, is what I like to say. So I've always had a heart for parks and recreation. I started umpiring in Jonesboro, Louisiana, where I grew up. And I've been umpiring for 20 years now, heavy on the little league circuit where I've done a lot of regionals and World Series, which actually I just got the call 2 weeks ago. I'm going to be a crew chief for the big Waco regional this year.
Now,
So,
what is that, a crew chief? I'm not familiar with this terminology.
so they picked 2 crew chiefs for the big regionals. And so I'm one of those 2 crew chiefs in that position. They're going to kind of train me more on it, but it's kind of overseeing one of the groups of umpires and just making sure that they're ready to go on the field. And then the crew chief will probably be very responsible for the replays. So when they call whoever's going to be watching, because all the games will be aired on ESPN Plus, and then they'll go to the main ESPN for the championship games. So,
yeah. Well, that's a great honor then. That's how often is that award? Is that like a 1-year thing, or?
We have to apply every year.
Every year?
So we put in an application for our tournaments, and then they just pick out of a lot of group of applications, and then see where they want to put people. So I did my first World Series in 2014 in Seattle, Washington, and then I did a ton of regionals, before and between that, and then I did my second World Series in Delaware in 2023. Last year I was in Albuquerque. And so I just move around and I like to do it because there's not a lot of umpires that look like me. So
Yeah.
that kind of grew my love for parks and recreation in general. So I've always been around it. But my last year of coaching, like I said, I felt like I could do more. But in 2015, we made it to the national tournament, which was hosted in Clinton, and we actually finished second in the nation that year. And so they kind
Wow.
of knew my name coaching. And so when the sports coordinator position opened at Clinton, they knew my name, and I put in for it, and it just kind of worked out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And then, so tell us about your journey into being a director for City of Clinton.
okay.
And
So
is that your first position as a director?
yes,
Okay.
yes. So I've only been in Clinton. So I've been in Clinton since 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Started as sports coordinator, and then they kind of retitled my role as a rec director, which was an honor, because they knew I was, working hard.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of gave more responsibility to me. And then in July of 2022, our director that we had, my supervisor, he kind of stepped down on Parks and Rec and went into a different role within our city. And then the deputy director, he resigned a week later. And so the mayor was like, "I want that girl."
Yeah.
He didn't know my name, but he was like, "I want her." So I was kicking and screaming. It's one of
Mm-hmm.
those things. Like I said in the meeting yesterday, I was like, some of the biggest blessings are the ones that you're trying to push away.
Right.
And so I was pushing, but I also knew that they were about to get, uh, I say a I I don't want to sound confident, but I knew that with everything I do, no matter if it's new to me, like they're going to get the best,
Yeah.
And I knew what I bring to the table, that even if I've never dealt with something, that they're gonna.
Right.
So it's kind of turned into, even if it's random, they're like, we want to do this, but who do we put over it? But like, put Courtney over it. She's going to figure it out.
She's gonna make it happen.
So I knew I had the ability. I knew that I had the potential to do whatever they wanted, but I was just kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
Like, no, not ready. So,
Well, with that in mind, what is your plan for the association during your year as president?
yeah, so we've had to focus on it the last few years, but I think we have to continue until we achieve it. But it's just recruitment, trying to build the membership, trying to get
Mm-hmm.
more people involved, get more people to understand what the benefits are of MRPA,
Mm-hmm.
which is networking, which is professional development, opportunities to grow and to learn things to take back to your city.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then just to pay it forward. I've had a lot of great mentors on the past president, Cole Smith. He's been
Mm-hmm.
one of my big Parks and Rec mentors. And so it's, at what point is it my turn to pass on, what he's taught me.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to make sure that I'm prepared for that when that
Yeah.
time comes.
Well, hopefully we can help you grow this. We're in talks right now with Tony to really help take over or at least assist with your social media, getting the
Absolutely.
word out. Unfortunately, I reached out to a couple of my guys here and it totally slipped that this was the weekend.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, okay, I want to help solve that problem. So
Yeah.
I'll be presenting to y'all's board a little because and we're just going to donate it to y'all because we want to see this associate. This is actually a really good association,
Yeah.
MRPA. So I'd love to see this thing double in size
Yeah.
this
So
year.
great. I think that the Parks and Recreation field is so I would say underestimated. They don't
Mhm.
really. Sometimes it gets put on the back burner. Somebody made I think it was actually Christine Stratton with
Mhm.
NRPA. She said that a lot of people have said uh, that Parks and Recreation is looked at as the dessert. And she's like, usually like fire and public works are the meat and potatoes.
Yeah.
And she was like, but Parks and Rec should be the vegetable. It's
Yeah.
needed,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I think that it's got to make it to the main plate. So
Yeah, I agree. And maybe we can close with that. So we started making videos. We have a stable of video content creators. We have a competition usually weekly, and or maybe it's 2 weeks ago now, was to create a minute to 180-second video geared towards high schoolers that are in y'all's programs for summer camp or lifeguard. There's typically an orientation period. And during that orientation period, you would show them this, and it would really just plant that seed to help them consider, hey, you could consider Parks and Rec as a major, attend a university that's got a good program. And so maybe for a second, if you could speak to that high school or even that college kid that may not know about Parks and Recreation as a career path like you did, what would you tell them?
I think that, a lot of career fields you get to serve people. Um, a lot of the career fields are narrowed down to either serving, the children of a community or adults or whatever. But with Parks and Recreation, you get to serve everyone.
Mhm.
You get the opportunity to provide programs and activities for those that uh, may not get to do it. It's
Mhm.
not just about sports for Parks and Rec. It's about art. It's about music. It's about so much more that we get to provide for our communities.
Mhm. Yeah, there really is a lot. If you want to make an impact, if you want to invest in your community, leave a legacy, I can't think of an industry that this is what they've been doing for 100 years, beautifying their cities, their communities, making that common space, investing in that community culture. That's like every day.
Yeah,
Every
it's
day,
true.
that's what y'all do.
Yeah.
So appreciate you volunteering to be president of this great state association of Mississippi. I can't wait to see what the 2025 year under the reign of Courtney Nunn looks like.
I'm excited. I won't let them down.
Yeah, let us know how we can help get the word out. Getting the word out is what we do professionally with the Daily Parks and Rec Show. So I really want to. I may even dedicate one of our staffers just to helping you pull that mission off.
Thank
So
you so much.
appreciate you coming onto the show as our second to last guest on the Daily Parks and Rec Show,
Absolutely.
live from MRPA. Appreciate you,
so
Courtney.
much.
All right, take care.
Welcome to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. As Craig LeBlanc from the Daily Parks and Recreation Show says, parks and recreation aren't just spaces, they're the soul of our communities. Across America, parks provide more than just a scenic escape. They're places where people connect, stay active, and create lasting memories. Parks promote physical health with trails, sports fields, and playgrounds while boosting mental well-being through the calming effects of nature. Recreation programs bring communities together, offering everything from fitness classes to cultural events. And as Craig often highlights, parks also play a key role in protecting the environment and driving local economies by attracting visitors and increasing property values. Whether it's a family picnic, a weekend hike, or simply enjoying the outdoors, parks and recreation are where life happens. Want to dive deeper into the stories behind America's parks? Tune in to the Daily Parks and Recreation Show with Craig LeBlanc for inspiring insights, tips, and updates about the spaces that bring us all together.